Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Original Wrestling Prime. I am your host, Tom Dog, the Bowden Broadcasting. And yes, we are here doing the old school Wrestling Prime, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We always do. We always do. And I know I say we have a lot of fun on every show that I do, but if I didn't say that, then that means we're not having any fun. So, but it's been a while. It's been a while since I've done. The last time I did wrestling, you know, the classic wrestling prime was, of course, the doing my review of the Elimination Chamber, and we're gonna dive deep into more of John Cena's heel turn because we don't really. I don't think we really tackled that last time. So, and as I'm trying to adjust myself because it's getting hot in here again, because hey, when the camera goes on, I start heating up, and you know, and it's Friday, and it's been very nice outside lately, and that's been good. It's been real good. It's actually really nice. I actually um cruising around town for a little bit, and had the windows down, had some music playing, everything. Had a good time. It was good, you know. I mean, spring is just around the corner. It's going to be here um, next week, and so yeah, and yeah, so we're gonna have so it's gonna be worth it. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, and then next thing you know, um, WrestleMania is going to be around the corner. We're gonna, of course, we're gonna be talking about that when that bridge crosses and everything. So yeah, we're gonna have fun. And there I go again, saying how fun it's going to be. But like I said before, if I didn't say we were having that was going to be a lot of fun, that means I'm not doing my job. Not doing my job because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to have fun and talk about other stuff. So yeah. So because if we didn't have any fun, it'd be boring. So so yeah. So but before we get to the fun, let's get to the good stuff. And that is our sponsor, W.GG. Or what is W Energy? It's not that it's not that energy drink that Logan Paul pushes. The one that looks like urine, and it's definitely not this because you'd be drinking. Wait a minute, camera's mirrored. Well, we're gonna fix that. There we go. So yeah, that's the real Prime Energy. Drinking up that wrestling prime, baby. Drink it up. But got some generic monster. This one's called Gridlock. But trust me, it's not any of those. But it is an energy supplement that has no sugar, no artificial colors, flavors, dyes, and zero chances of you tapping out. And if you don't want to tap out, then I strongly suggest that you go over to w.gg right now. Use that promo code that you see right there. That's a beauty. That's a beauty of a promo code. And you use that promo code that you see on the screen, Brill, at the checkout and save 10% on your purchase. So anything that you grab at the store, you push that little promo code in there at the checkout, you'll be saving some money. And it's my gift from me to you. So, and you get the best ingredients. You get the best ingredients. None of that, none of that gimmicky garbage that, none of that gimmicky garbage that say, oh, we are healthy, we are good, but in reality, they're not, because there's no dyes, there's no artificial colors, flavors, or there's no sugar. There's no sugar in it. In the process. So what you're getting is the best ingredients that you can get. And if I didn't throw in that promo code, or even mention or acknowledge that there's a W energy drink, you wouldn't even know that it existed. So yeah, use that promo code Brill at the checkout and save 10% on your purchase. Yes, sir. You'll be glad you did. So, so yeah, I don't even know what the hell. Okay, apparently I got some gimmicks. Not the gimmicks that I was mentioned, but yeah. Um, but yeah, I gotta see what's on the itinerary. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah. Um, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. I forgot to do this. I have to do this. Jesus Christ. Look at all these pop-ups. That wasn't working. That's it. You know? That's not working. It's crappy. Yeah, I think the one I had was a lot better. There we go. That's good enough, right? Right. So, okay. So the Hall of Fame is has a new member, and you probably saw it at the on the title card, but I'm going to show it again over here, and it's Lex Luger. Uh, Congratulations are in order to him. Um, it was a long time coming, and everything. So yeah. Um, so so yeah, Lex Luger, um, definitely well deserved as far as um being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and yeah, I met him. Um, I would say it was either 2013 or 2014 that I met him. It was in New Jersey. He was doing a book signing in New Jersey, and I went with my buddy John, and yeah, we went over there. We had a good time in Jersey, and so yeah, we met Luger, had our picture taken. Actually, you know what? I think I have that picture. I have to go on my Facebook to do it. I know I have it on there. Let's see. I gotta fix that. I'm keeping the turtles on there. That's not a good turtle. Um, let's see. Shouldn't be too far. Okay, maybe I was wrong. I mean, I know I have it because I did post it. Oh, here we go. I was in the wrong spot. I know I have it. See, I'm scrolling really fast too. That's some of my old setup here. I know it's here, and I know I should have grabbed the picture before I came on, but I was in the middle of setting up and doing other things. So, but I know I have it. What I should have done was did a what I should have done was a an album. But it came around the same time as Grand Theft Auto 5. Stone Cold Steve Urkel. That's a hoot and a holler. Kidding me. There's Mojo. Oh, okay, here we go. Almost there, folks. I'm sorry. I know I'm taking up a lot of time here. Ah, here we go. Found it. So, so yeah, this was a picture taken. When was this picture taken? Yeah, 23rd, August 20th in 2023. And and yeah, not bad. And he was in a in a wheelchair at the time and everything like that. But it was a real honor to meet him uh and everything. So yeah, that was like back in 2013. It's like 20 almost 12 years ago. Almost 12 years ago. So yeah. And so yeah, that was that was a long time. My God. I still have the bald head and everything like that. So yeah. Wait a minute. So yeah, that was a long time ago. And so yeah, it was a good moment right there. And oh man, just going back at that, and it was a real long time. And so yeah, he looks good. And he's working, he's doing all that, that training with DDP and everything like that, so he can at least, learn to walk again and everything like that. After that little, I think it was a motorcycle accident that that left him paralyzed. And so yeah, it was it was a seeing him on there like that, it's heartbreaking because you don't want to see your favorite wrestlers like that. And there's a lot of misconceptions um you know about his past, and you know when it comes to all the stuff that he did, which that led to the death of Miss Elizabeth. But but the thing about that is, you know it was a wild time. and but it is good that that his life has been changed around for the better, and he's doing really well. And trying to get to walk again and everything like that. And I think that that's a really good accomplishment. So yeah, I think it's um well deserving that he's had a lot of accomplishments in the ring. And he had memorable moments with Sting and the Four Horsemen. And he had the moments with when he showed up in the WWE as the narcissist, and doing some stuff with the World Bodybuilding Federation at the time when that was a thing. And makes you wonder if Gary Stridham will ever get acknowledged somewhere. Um, and we first saw Lex Luger on WWE broadcasting back in 1992 at WrestleMania 9 or WrestleMania 8. I mean, excuse me, and it was really good. It was really really cool. And then when he made his, and then when Bobby Heenan made his unveiling at Royal Rumble in '93, a year later, he and had some matches with Kurt Hennig, and then when he became a babyface, he he did that that body slam on Yokozuna, that's when he slammed Yokozuna, and then he did the whole Lex Express, and yeah, a lot of a lot of memorable moments, some good, some bad, and everything like that. But then um Monday Nitro debuted, and he showed up back in the WCW ring and everything, and yeah, the rest was history. And so yeah, he had a lot of memorable moments and everything. And so it was a pretty interesting run with him. And I was friends with Sting. So I mean, we don't know if he's gonna stop by. And that's a real question. Um who's going to induct um Lex Luger? I know there's like a lot of guys, DDP could be one of them. Um who else? Cody Rhodes can probably induct him. Um if AEW will allow him, and maybe Sting will do it, since he's really good friends with him. So I mean, it's it's hard to say who can induct him, but it is pretty amazing. It will be pretty amazing and see who will induct him in there. And it brings up to another interesting point as well too. Who else? I mean, who else belongs in the Hall of Fame? Um, I know that D'Lo Brown was was rumored to be the next inductee, but and D'Lo said, and and I heard this, that D'Lo said that he'll go in there if Darren Drozdoff goes in there as well. And for those of you who don't know the story, um, Darren Drozdoff, who came into the WWE as Droz, um, he had this gimmick where he can puke on command, and so he was nicknamed Puke, and which led to a good you know a story on on Beyond the Ring, Beyond the Mat. I mean, um, good movie, by the way. Should go and see it, um, if you could find it on streaming. But the that match, that moment there, it was good. However, his career was cut short during a training he had with D'Lo Brown, because they were scheduled to be in the ring on an episode of Raw. And what happened was, during the training and everything, um, warming up, doing their stuff for the match before the shows went on the air. He a move. I forgot what move it was, and he landed on his head, and he was permanently um, paralyzed from the neck down. And D'Lo still to this day felt really bad, even after Droz's death. Um, here's let me see how long ago he passed away. Um, he passed away on 2023, a couple of years ago, on June 30th. I think I talked about that. And so yeah, he so yeah, it was a and still to this day, D'Lo felt really bad about it and everything like that. And I guess the story goes that um they kept in touch you know after D'Lo got released and everything like that, and started going to other territories. And yeah, it was a really sad moment. And yeah, Draws, it was a really sad story. And then even sadder when he passed. And so yeah, and I think that it makes a lot of that would make a lot of a good tribute, that um not only does D'Lo want to be in it, but he also wants to um put Draws in there as well too, and rightfully so. And a lot of people on social media were just like um were like, you know is he deserving to be in the Hall of Fame? And the answer is yes. um if you had if you were in Draz's shoes, and you had to go through that whole thing of getting paralyzed and everything like that, and still recognized, um even though you had, you know a not so good run, because I mean, come on. I mean, the least you could do is, you know at least have some sort of acknowledgement in the Hall of Fame. I mean, there's been a lot of there's been some wrestlers in the WWE who don't even feel like they belong in there because they contributed nothing. Drew Carey definitely comes to mind, because he's the only contribution that he did was be in the Royal Rumble. And if Kid Rock can be in the Hall of Fame, and if Drew Carey can be in the Hall of Fame, and you know, and what others? There's another celebrity that doesn't that you know. There's some others that don't even belong, and but they're still in there, and you know that sort of thing. And so yeah, why not? Why not Draws? I mean, like I said, yeah, he didn't. You know his career was cut short due to a career-ending injury. And and yeah, it's like the dude's paralyzed, and it's like, you know, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, he became an ambassador, some sort of ambassador to the WWE. So so there were some shining lights to it as well too. So yeah, why not? Why not throw in um Darren Drozdov in there. I would, he's deserving of it. And then, another guy that I've been wanting, that I would love to see in the Hall of Fame, and I know the guy personally. Well, actually, two people I know personally. One of them I'm more close to as a friend than the next guy, and that is Justin Credible. Why not he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Um, and another one is also another uh acquaintance of mine is that Barry Horowitz. Barry Horowitz definitely deserves in there. And he said, "Oh, how come does he deserve it because he's a talent enhancer?" Well, they don't people on social media that when they comment that they call him a jobber, and he's not. He's a talent enhancer. So, which to me, I think that's a more proper word in that, because calling a wrestler a jobber is an insult, and and everything. And he's had a pretty good career, and as a talent enhancer, and then also as a you know, and then later on when he became Intercontinental Champion. So yeah, you know, and so yeah, he had a um pretty damn good career, and he can still fight too. I've seen his videos, and the funny thing about that about Barry Horowitz, um I met him at a meet and greet at M&J Video Games and Collectibles, and I would say a long time, around back, I would say back in 2021, and and he was either 2020 or 2019, I forgot which, and it, it was it was either before or after COVID. I'm not going back on Facebook, because even though I do have the picture, I'll post it up next time. I'll make sure to post it. Um, he Out of the blue, he called me. I did not expect that, and we had an hour conversation. And you know, he didn't have to, but it was awesome. It was really awesome that and and yeah, I definitely he's a really nice guy. Um, he has a lot, some good things going for him and everything like that. And he's still active. He's still active. And that deserves a good pat in the back, you know. And he's well deserving to, if anything, he's well deserving to be in the Hall of Fame. And it's like, yeah, does he have to win all the time? Does he have to have major championships? Does he have to have a successful run? No. He was an in-ring performer, and a damn good one. He would put matches. And no, I remember, I brought up the time when um when Barry fought Lanny Poffo. He didn't and it's funny because I remember that match because it's one of my favorite matches, and he he vaguely remembers that, but yeah, when I brought that up, it was like, wow. It's like I don't. It was like that was so long ago, but yeah, it was on. It was at a house show, and but they, I think it was at a house show, but then they showed it later on Primetime Wrestling, and that's how I remember. That's how I remember watching it, and so yeah, and it was an awesome match. I liked it, you know, and you know, but he's well deserving to be in the Hall of Fame, and I would be honored if I was able to induct him. That would be awesome. That'll be like the only time I'll get a chance to go on WWE television. But WWE will not do that. They wouldn't. They really wouldn't. I have a better chance of doing some stuff with AEW before I even get a chance to be on WWE broadcasting. You know, hey, and I'll tell you this, and I know I'll say, and I'll say this, that if WWE or AEW picks me up to do business, I'll cancel one of these shows. I'm dead serious. I am dead serious. If AEW picks me up, I will cancel this show. If WWE wants to do something with me, I will. I would have no choice but to cancel Wrestling Prime Elite. Hey, it's just business. That's how it goes. And so, you know, all depends on how bad do I want my soul to be sold. how much my how much of my soul am I willing to give to the Rock? I mean, hey, if the price is right, I would sell my soul to be to the Rock to do some stuff with him, you know. But like I said, I have a better shot at you know doing stuff with AEW. So who wants my soul more, The Rock or Tony Khan? Who knows? Be awesome either way. Just so you know, my soul is up for grabs. So then we got John Cena. I think that's it. Yeah, that's the next topic, which is a good segue for what we're talking about. John Cena turning heel, and I don't know. I got to show this picture again because it's so funny. Because look at John Cena. That is a perfect heel right there. I mean, John, heel Cena right there on the bottom there. That is like the perfect, but that's like the perfect pose to for if you would have John Cena turn heel, that's the face that you would give him. That is the like the proper face to give him. And I think I could get it bigger. Uh, I can get it because yeah, that is like the perfect. There we go. That's perfect. There we go. Yeah, how can you not I mean that's heel Cena right there. That's heel Cena right there. And it's like that is like the perfect that's like the perfect facial expression to give a heel. And that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect. And but yeah, it's like well deserving too. And you know, and it's just at the right, that's that's at, like at the right moment too. And a lot of people are upset that Cena turned heel and everything like that, and it's like the fans don't even, and I said this before, that the fans don't even really know what they want. They really don't. And and I said this last time when, that, the kids are crying that John Cena turned heel, and the grown-ups are, their parents are like, "Why are you crying? It's just that." Remember when, and I'm going to say this again because it's true. Remember when you were a child, when you were their kids' age, and yes, I'm using that analogy. When I was your age, remember when you were at their age and you saw Hulk Hogan turn heel for the first time, joining an NWO. Remember when that was a thing, when Hulk Hogan, who was a big baby face back, in the 80s and 90s, before, I mean, way before he was, he started in the company as a bad guy, and was managed by Blassie um as the the incredible Hulk Hogan, and then when he got let go from the original WWE, because he got, or the WWF, um because Vince McMahon Sr. fired him because he was going to go out and do this movie with Sylvester Stallone at Rocky 3, and he was going to play and he was scheduled to play Thunder Lips. Look what happened. And of course he was a bad guy in that movie too. Thunder Lips is here in the flesh, baby. I like that one. I'm sorry. I mean, you know, if we had, that Hulk Hogan, I think that would be a lot better than the Hulk Hogan that we know now. And I guess you know, it's true what they say: never meet your heroes. But luckily, the heroes that I met didn't turn out to be jerks. So yeah. So yeah, it's a wood paneling. So yeah. Apparently, a lot of people have an issue with this wall. Oh, why you got that wall again? I thought you got rid of it. Apparently, it's a big issue, and I was like, still got that same shitty wall, and it's like, believe it or not, I've had the same wall paneling, even back when I was doing Wrestling Prime on cable access. So yeah, I'm never getting rid of this wall. It's either that or the brick wall. It's either this paneling or the brick wall. You choose. Sometimes it was just a blue background. So yeah, we've had many backgrounds, but this and brick were the only two good ones. So stuff it. Anyways, I'm not here to, you know I'm not here to talk about wall decor, because even people who criticize the wall don't even know what, you know, don't even like presentation. It's like, I mean, I don't like presentation. I just don't want to bore anybody, you know. Anywho, but but it was a lot, but yeah, Hulk Hogan, but when he came back in the WWE and won that championship from Iron Sheik, Hulkamania became a thing, and WrestleMania happened because of him. The Rock and Wrestling Connection happened because of him. You know, I mean, Hulk Hogan was all over the place in the 80s and 90s. And then when he went to WCW, 93, I would like to say, it it was a really big deal. It was a really big deal. It was a big deal. And, you know, and Hogan was this baby face and everything like that, and you know nobody really cared when he was in WCW. But then all of a sudden, um in 1996, he became he bec- um he became the third man that would join Hall and Nash, and the NWO was made, and Hulk Hogan turned heel. As soon as he dropped that leg on Randy Savage, that was it. And yeah, that it was a really big issue. And think about then, kids crying, kids the today's kids are crying over John Cena. Look what happened to their parents when they were at their kids' days when Hogan turned heel. You think their parents said, you think their parents would have said, it's just a wrestling show. It's just wrestling. And it's like, but you don't understand. It's like, and like, how would they even, how would their parents react to that? How would we even get a heel turn like that from their generation? I mean, think about that. We've gone from Hogan turning heel in '96 to Don Cena, pretty much almost 30 years later. And yeah, it's a big deal. It really is a big deal. Or 29 years later. Excuse me. And my math is awful. So yeah, we have to look at that situation. That, you know, but who would follow up with a heel turn like that back in the day before Hulk Hogan became a household name? I honestly have no idea. I really don't. I would say maybe Ric Flair, probably, but it's hard to say. But yeah, it's one of those moments in wrestling history that, you know you had Hogan turn heel at one point in his career, and the kids looked at him as role model and everything like that. He did a lot of stuff for the charities and the kids and the prayers and the vitamins and all that jazz. Then you have John Cena decades later, and he's pretty much preaching the same thing as Hogan, saying that doing the charities and doing stuff for the kids and everything is becoming, did all that. I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure The Rock had a similar attitude. You know, yeah, he came in as a good guy, and nobody liked him because he was Rocky Maivia, and nobody really liked him. you know. But then when he joined up with the Nation, he was like, "Die, Rocky, die," and everything like that, and we gave him character, and then all of a sudden he became The Rock, and everybody loved him. After that faction split up, and The Rock became a household name, and then when he turned heel, when Hulk Hogan came back to the WWE, um, after his match with after The Rock and the Hogan fought at Mania 17, next thing you know, The Rock started turning heel again. Did anybody, I'm pretty sure there were some kids that were a little bit upset, but not as good as, John Cena. John Cena came into the WWE. Here you go. He has had a pretty good career, and yeah, he debuted um as a good guy, and he beat up Kurt Angle, and then next thing you know, he came this heel gimmick and everything like that as John Cena, um, Chain Gang, and all this other stuff, and doing the rapping and the dissing, and then later on, fans starting to love it. So, and I'll admit I loved it too. And then all of a sudden, he became even more popular, and you know, then sooner or later, uh, he was over as a babyface. It just happened. It just happened out of nowhere. And then, and yeah, so it's a really big deal. And then when he became this babyface, he became more of a household name, becoming more popular with all these championships and having all these title runs, and people having enough and say we've seen enough, and, and Super Cena and all this other, and everything else that followed after that, and now he's back to doing movies and then everything, and he's come back to retire um, on his farewell tour. So why not go out in a blaze of glory by you know being a heel, being the top heel for a while, and then riding off into the sunset. And I'm pretty sure he'll still stick around with the WWE, but as far as his in ring goes, he's pretty much done after that. So yeah, why not why not go riding off into the sunset and say, hey, let's have this match with Cody Rhodes. I'll be the you know I'll be the bad guy. You know, Cody, you still being the fan favorite, and then after that, and this is my prediction: whoever wins, they're going to shake hands and embrace, and or Cody's going to still remain champion, and he's going to ride off and John Cena's going to ride off into the subset by passing the torch over to Cody. And there you go. Story writes itself. So, and it can happen. It can happen. So, what's to say was going to happen next? So, and what better way to do it than to sell your soul to the man who you had a fresh rivalry with? And it makes sense for John Cena to turn heel. It really does. it's what's best for business, and I know Triple H already said it. It's like it's what's best for business, and but I'm saying it too. It is what's best for business. If Cody didn't want to turn heel, that's fine. It was. I'm sure. And yeah, there was talks about it on about it years leading up to it that Cody didn't want to do turn heel and everything like that. And that's perfectly fine. Nobody was like, well, then you're just going to have to drop the belt. No, that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that it, the that that Cena and Cody are going to have a damn good WrestleMania match because, and one's going to be a babyface, the other one's going to be a heel, and yeah, you're not going to like it that the fact that the one person that you want to be that you know I'm pretty sure it was hinted that at one point that Cody was going to be a heel, you know but if he does, and I'll tell you this right now, if Cody Rhodes ever turns heel, do not stick with the American Nightmare. Go with the dashing gimmick. Perfect, perfect heel. I actually liked it when he was dashing Cody Rhodes. And yeah, I like that. I like that. So, but yeah, it's one of those moments in history where it could happen. And you know, I'm sure at one point Cody would turn heel at one point, but now's not the time. Now's not the time for Cody to turn heel. And when that day comes, when that day comes where Cody turns heel, it's going to be at the right time. So, yeah. So, speaking of the main event at WrestleMania, there's one more topic that we need to talk about before we wrap things up here, and that is, of course, the confirmed match at WrestleMania, and that is Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. We all saw what happened on Monday, where Roman came in, took out both guys in the during their steel cage match, and now it's going to be a triple threat match. However, and though that is good, even though that is good, we need to have something added to that match. We need to have something added to that match. And this is how I would book that match for WrestleMania. Night one, you have the match between you have the match between you have the match between Roman, Seth, and Punk. Night one. Whoever wins that match goes on to night two as a number one contender to face either John Cena or Cody Rhodes. John Cena and Cody Rhodes, night one. Whoever wins between those two it will be the main event for night 2. The winner of the triple threat match and the winner between Cena and Rhodes. So the odds are stacked. Make it interesting. So to make it that way, well, why not have Cena and Cody do night 2? Not if you're going to do that triple threat match. Put it in there because one way or another, these Seth, Roman, Punk came this close of getting a title opportunity at WrestleMania. And I think that's what needs to happen. It needs to happen where where you have night 1 Cody and Cena. The Rock nowhere near that WrestleMania match. He can have another opportunity somewhere down the road or at next year's WrestleMania, which would make a good opportunity. So keep The Rock away from the title, from even grabbing that title. It would make more sense for The Rock to just be the final boss and bring in a group of people that are willing to join up with him. And which of course this could be very beneficial for Logan Paul. And I know it sounds strange for me to say this, but I think Logan Paul joining up with The Rock would make sense. And even if you were to turn him babyface, it's not going to work. He's still going to be an asshole. And I will never cheer for him. No matter how, and plus also with his reputation, no one's going to cheer for him anyways. So if he were to sell his soul to The Rock and join up with him, it would make sense. Just saying. Especially when the fact that Logan Paul has some legal issues at the moment. So it'd be a great way to pay his legal fees, I can tell you. Just putting it out there, Logan. How's that Crapto Zoo that you got? How's that Prime Energy drink? Hmm? Still sore that I got wrestling, that you had to drink up that wrestling Prime? And I'll tell you this, changing it to Wrestling Prime actually makes the stuff inside taste better. Hey, hey, I call it the way I see it. So drink it up there, Logan. Drink it up. Chug it. Get used to it because you're gonna see that more often. But anyways, going back to real wrestling and not some paper champion. Who's also pretending to wrestle. That's right, Logan. I'm talking about you still. That's how much I hate him. But anyways, let's talk about the real wrestlers. John Cena, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins. This would make sense to have both the triple threat match and Cena and Rhodes at night one. Then the winner of those two matches will go on to face each other at night two. So where could we put? So where could we put Gunther and? So where could we put Gunther and Jey Uso? Simple. Second to the last match. Actually, no. Have that match main event on night one. Still have John Cena and Cody Rhodes. Actually, no. Gunther and Jay have their match second to the last before before Cena and Rhodes. Then, and that'll be good. You have one title match. You've seen it happen. There you go. So a match as big as Cody and Cena, you gotta have that as the last match because it tells the story between these two and the road that they're traveling on. So yet another story that Cody's got to finish. And John Cena wins night one. And since this is going to be his last WrestleMania, I don't think he's going to have a title run. So it's only fitting that you put John Cena defending the title on night two against either Seth Rollins, CM Punk, or Roman Reigns. And CM Punk has to win that match. CM Punk has to win that match. He has to. There's no other person that can even come close. This way here, he can have his last match. That Cena can have his last match with CM Punk, defend the title against CM Punk on night two at WrestleMania, and CM Punk becomes the new WWE champion. It makes sense. We've seen John Cena break Ric Flair's record by one. There you go. Story told. Story told. CM Punk wins the belt on night two against John Cena. Boom. There you go. It makes perfect sense. This way here, CM Punk gets his main event moment at WrestleMania because he's always wanted a main event WrestleMania, and he has that match with John Cena. And I think that's a perfect. I think that's a perfect story right there. I think it is. And it's like, well, what about the women's title matches? Simple. Have the women open up on both nights. There you go. Once again, It makes sense. That's how I would take it. That's how I would book WrestleMania. And when we get closer to WrestleMania, I'll do the predictions. So, but I'm more focused on booking this match because it's a match that needs to be booked that way. Cody and Cena, night 1. CM Punk and Cena, night 2. That's the story. And it can happen. It can happen. Hey, I was wrong last year. And hell, the way I booked WrestleMania last year was a hell of a lot better than what we got. No offense to the booking on there. It was good. And it was still an awesome show. Don't believe me? Go back and look at last season's Wrestling Prime. If you don't believe me. So yeah. It's a huge deal. So one quick note. It's rumored that Braun Breaker is going to be stripped of the Intercontinental title because he hasn't defended the title in the regulation time to defend the title, the IC belt, and so yeah, I call BS on that because when Logan Paul was U.S. champion, it was the same amount. It was the same amount of time when Logan Paul, and he only defended the belt twice. And it took him a long time to defend that belt. It took a real long time. And the belt should have been stripped from him long ago, too. So, but guess they know where their favorites lie, I guess. So, but if the rumors are true, hopefully we get to see better things for Braun Breaker, and so yeah. So I'm looking at the time right now. I'm calling it a night. What do you say? Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow me at Tom Dog at. Be sure to follow me on Blue Sky at TomDog247. If you miss any of tonight's episode, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below. How would you who do you think should comment down below who do you think should be the next inductee to the WWE Hall of Fame? Not Chris Benoit, and we'll talk about that next week. Actually, no, I have a better one. I have a better one than the Hall of Fame. How would you book the main event? How would you book the main event at WrestleMania on both nights? That's an even better one than the Hall of Fame because there's so many options out there. But yeah, let us know in the comment section down below. Ring the bell to stay notified of what I'm going to be doing next. And support small streamers like myself by doing the most important thing that you can do for us small streamers like myself, and that is acknowledge the subscribe button. changing it up a little bit. So we'll see you here next week on another episode of Wrestling Prime. I'll be back here tomorrow night with Wrestling Prime Elite, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that as well too. And be sure to tune into that as well. So, with that being said, have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow. Till then, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace. Have a good night, everybody. See you then.